he was unbelievable in this game, and he's really been unbelievable over the last 4 or 5 starts at this point now, where I think he's fully back and I'm not concerned with him anymore.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. He's Brian McKeon. We've been hosting the show together for nearly a year and a half at this point. That's a long time, Brian. Quick, immediate thoughts about Thursday night's game.
Dominance. That's the word I'll use.
Yes. All right. So before we get started, this episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enough with the boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Go to 5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. Coming up on today's show, it's Fan Mail Friday. Yay! And we're going to preview the rest of the weekend matchups for the Orioles Yankees. We already did that for Thursday's show, but we'll do it again in case you're watching us for the first time this week. But first, let's talk about that dominance, because going into Thursday night's game, the Yankees already knew that Boston and Toronto had both lost, and they took advantage of the fact that, as you said on Thursday's show, the Orioles were 56-46 after their bad start. So this wasn't quite a team that you were thinking were going to be pushovers on Thursday night, but they kind of were.
Yeah, they played like it for sure. It's funny. You look at their record and they looked, pretty good in the last 2/3 of the season. Not good, I wouldn't say, but above average for sure. And they looked like a team that's ready for the offseason. Baltimore. They look like they just want to get off a baseball field, and they're quite frankly done. Yeah. Yankees were dominant, and I don't want to jump the gun too much, but they have a very favorable schedule to them, and they are playing their best baseball at the right time. That's not meant to insinuate anything. That's not meant to spark anything, but they are playing their best, well-rounded baseball at the right time as a team right now.
Yes, it's perfect timing. Max Fried, let's just say it, unbelievable start from him, dominant. A start that the Yankees needed because the other starters have not been giving them length. He goes 7, only 3 hits, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts. And he made some of those guys look really silly. And because of this fantastic start, his ERA is back down below 3 at 2.92.
This isn't speaking in hyperbole. It's definitely the best start he's had as a Yankee. And that's saying something with the year that he's had. But this might be the best start of his career. That's how good of he was in this game. I mean, he was unbelievable. Him rounding into form. He went through that cold spell. It was about a 6-start streak right there where he didn't pitch very well in the middle of the summer. And I think I'm ready to credit that more towards the blister than I am anything else. But Stacey, he was unbelievable in this game, and he's really been unbelievable over the last 4 or 5 starts at this point now, where I think he's fully back and I'm not concerned with him anymore. So now you couple him and Rodón at the top of that rotation, who both have looked really good. I know they've had their trouble with Boston, and I know they can wind up playing Houston as well, but I don't know any team that would want to play the Yankees with the top of their rotation looking the way that it is.
Right. Quickly about the offense. I liked that they won the game 7-0, and there was not a home run hit.
Forget what we think. This is an important game for them as a clubhouse to show themselves they can win games without relying on the home run ball. They're able to manufacture runs. They're able to couple together base hits. Guys like Giancarlo Stanton, that are one of the more prolific home run hitters in the entire league, has a huge double in this game and drives in 2 runs. You couple all that stuff together and you prove to yourself that you can win games in a multitude of ways. I think it's super important, not only for the fan base and for the media and how people perceive the Yankees, particularly the Blue Jays color commentator, but the Yankees clubhouse as a whole. It's important for them.
Yep. All right, so good game by the Yanks. Now let's move on to Fan Mail Friday. If you're new to the show, we do this every single week. Fan Mail Friday, we answer your questions, and every single week we start with our Locked On Yankees insiders. We'll tell you how to do that either later in the show or you'll see it in our show description. And we always start with Insider Betty, and this is what Betty asks. In the remaining regular season games, how many wins do we need in order to lock up the top spot in the wild card? So I was looking at the standings. I was trying to figure this out. Now, someone told me that their magic number over Seattle and Houston, because those two are tied. So someone's going to win their division and someone's going to be a wild card.
Correct.
Is 8, and their magic number over Boston is 7. So they're currently 3 over Boston and 2 over Seattle and Houston in that wild card.
Keep in mind too, when you go over the West, Texas is still sitting there too. Now they're in their not winning week. They win every game in one week and they lose every game in another week.
The Astros swept them, didn't they?
Yes. Now they're 5 back, and then I'm sure in a week Houston will be Texas will be a half game back because that's how it works.
Right.
It's going to be one of those teams that wins the division. Seattle's played better, and they're going into a series together. By the way, Seattle and Houston, so you'll have a much clearer picture of what it's going to look like.
Right.
Afterwards, what's funny is I think this benefits the Yankees too. By the way, they are still technically chasing the American League East. It's still only 3 games.
Right.
I don't think they're going to catch Toronto, but it's not insurmountable that they can't catch Toronto. Here's the thing, Stacey. They're going to have to play at a level where they're trying to win games throughout the schedule. They're not going to have a week of resting players and kind of cakewalking through. And I like that. That is a benefit for a team. Playing through a schedule like that is good. It's not good to be being Detroit, where you've had the division locked up since May, is not good because it creates lackadaisical attitudes with the players and stuff like that. So I think this is really healthy for the Yankees. I don't know if there's a magical spot they have to get to when it comes to Betty's question, but I'll say it's a positive that they're going to have to play through the schedule, which is a good thing.
Right.
Let's go to David F., who has a second question. Based upon the production of the current Yankees outfield, throwing Spencer Jones in the mix, what's your starting outfield first next year, 4th outfielder?
I
don't think he's making the team at opening day, Spencer Jones.
No, I think it would be one of those things where he comes up at some point in 2026, but I don't think I don't think he's gonna come out and be on the Yankees out of spring training. I don't see that happening.
I've stood by this the whole time. Now, I think Cody Bellinger is the guy that you re-sign and throw the bag at. I think he deserves it in the way that he plays. He's gonna hit 100 RBIs soon.
Don't answer that yet. Don't answer that yet. We have those questions coming up.
Oh. It's gonna have to do with free agency, with what they do in free agency. I'll just confirm this. I don't think there's any chance they put Judge in center field. I think he's past the point in his career where they're gonna leave him in right.
Right. I would agree with that. Speaking of that, perfect timing from Eric S. Do you think Judge should play in right for the rest of the season or until the first wildcard post is secured? Sorry, but I think the division title is unlikely.
I agree with you, Eric. I do think it's unlikely as well, but it is in reach. It's 3 games. It's like that's not a crazy. It's kind of 4 games because they don't have the tiebreaker over Toronto, but still, I mean, it's in reach. So I don't think that's insurmountable, to be honest with you. No, I don't think it matters how many games Judge plays the rest of the way in the outfield. I think he's good enough of a fielder where it's not going to matter too much, to be honest. Right. Let's go to Malachi. Malachi asked from 2 weeks ago, asking again as instructed by Brian, are the Yankees a good team or are they winning because they're playing bad teams? Today's who do you think the Yankees should let go of over the offseason and keep? I'd get Bellinger over Grisham. I would put Rice at full-time catcher, but put Wells as backup. Trade away Volpe, get a new shortstop, but keep Caballero. GM Malachi.
Yeah. I think
the first question, I think Malachi, they answered that question for you in going 7-5 in that 12-game stretch. They're a good team. They're not world beaters. They're not the 98 Yankees, but this is a good baseball team.
Yeah, and Malachi, we're sorry that you had to sit through that inning that Detroit had against them in person.
Yeah. Builds character.
Yeah. I agree with the Bellinger over Grisham. I think Bellinger, there's more of a history there. I know the age thing is an issue with both of them, kind of, because they're kind of both, like one's older than the other, but they're both in that same age range. But I feel like Bellinger, say they need a first baseman, you can kind of plug Bellinger in there for one game and he wouldn't have a problem with it. Where Grisham is basically like center field, occasionally left field, but
In an ideal world, you'd like to get both of them back.
Sure.
And I think there's a chance only because Trent Grisham, and this is not a negative on him, Trent Grisham is a different kind of guy. And he is a family guy, very mellow kind of dude. He might just say, give me a reasonable deal to stay in New York where I want to play and let, because he's not a money chaser kind of guy. Now, again, someone might come along and give him a contract that he can't turn down. That's always a possibility. But he might just say, Stacey, give me 3 years, $45 million, and I'm yours.
Right.
And then what do? Then you probably bring him back and you go with this outfield forward. So there is a chance of that. Malachi, I'm going to give myself an easy way out here when you ask who do you think the Yankees should let go of over the offseason? Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh, right.
There you go.
That's easy. Yeah. All right. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notifications so you know when our videos go up. You can also listen to us on every podcasting platform available. And we have a TikTok. You can follow us there at LockedOn_Yankees. So coming up, we have more Fan Mail Friday questions and more answers for you next. This episode is brought to you by Zippix toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be helpful as a tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. It's also available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligrams and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. I personally love the peppermint watermelon flavored toothpicks. They have B12, they have caffeine. They're so great and they taste incredible. I've used them to give me energy without the jitters, and I usually use them when I'm putting the rundown together. So go to zippixtoothpicks.com, use the code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. You must be 21 or older to order, and nicotine is an addictive chemical, so be careful with that. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Again, the promo code is LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks. So we have more insider questions for you. Our first one is from Matt V, and I found this very amusing when I was putting the graphics together. Who has a worse baseball name, James Outman or Grant Balfour? It's Balfour.
Grant Balfour is a worse name, but for baseball's sake, James Outman is worse.
Well, I kept using his name as, like, I kept saying, Devin, get this guy out, man, whenever he was up, because that's what I do. I don't think they're worse. I don't think they're bad names. I don't know.
I don't like the name Grant.
Well,
not a fan.
I mean, I will never say a bad thing about James. Grandfather, brother,
middle
cousins,
name, father's name, grandfather's name on this side. So yeah.
You know, actually, what's weird is James is a big name on the Greek side of the family, but it's also big in both the Italian quarter of my mom's family and the Irish. My great grandfather was a James.
Yeah, I'm all Irish and Italian, so James is all over my family. So I can't really give James is over Grant in my opinion.
Right.
Let's go to Chris F. His Fan Mail Friday question: with the pen in recent games making us cringe, how confident on a scale of 1 to 10 are you with the group in October? I guess. Thank you, Stacey and Brian. Keep the fire going. Chris 40.
Here's the thing. I'm hoping that we have a repeat. Well, I'm hoping we have a repeat of 96 in every possible way, but I'm hoping it's a repeat where we had guys in the 96 bullpen that we were afraid to see come out, and then they just suddenly turned into different pitchers in the playoffs. Like they stepped it up like 5 levels, and these guys were unhittable. And I'm kind of hoping that some of these guys remember, oh yeah, I'm a professional baseball player. I've been in the playoffs. I can do this. Let's go. Kind of thing.
I have a lot of confidence that there's a lot of potential that David Bednar is one of those guys. Not that he's been bad by any means, but I think he lives for that big time postseason moment. I'd say my concern level is a 4, and my confidence level is a 6. Here's why. Not only do I think that they have some absolute dogs in their bullpen that are going to look for this kind of stuff, but also who's got the good bullpen in the American League you're scared of?
Right.
No one.
Like there are certain guys in certain bullpens that you're afraid of, but collectively as a group, you don't look at any bullpen and think, oh my, I don't want to face these guys.
Nope. There's not a single team. So
yeah,
I think the Yankees have the best overall pitching in all of baseball going forward in the postseason. When it comes to starters and bullpen and the way they're performing, it definitely the American League, in my opinion.
All right. Our last insider question is from Adam Cole. Now, he sent this on September 17th, so keep that in mind. Last night, you noted that the team was tired. How does the team manage fatigue at this time of the season, knowing that they still have to go through to the end of it to play well in the playoffs and whilst playing against teams that they should beat, such as the White Sox and the Orioles?
There's an interesting amount. You guys, if you're interested in this, Adam, you should do some like research on YouTube and stuff. There's a lot of really good documentaries on how sports teams now take care of their players and the science they've done in recovery. And it is very fascinating. They make sure these guys, they all wear sleep rings so that the team tracks all their sleep. They all wear like specially designed ones that the team can track how their sleep is, how their sleep patterns are. They wear those leg vests that blow up and kind of keep your legs, the blood circulating on the airplanes and stuff. I want them too. But the recovery is fascinating how these teams, work at it and stuff. Plus their diets are so good. Were they tired? Absolutely. And there's really no combating that just natural fatigue, but that's not a season long fatigue. That's more of we've got to be in two cities in the matter of 16 hours kind of fatigue.
Right. And I would like to point out that Aaron Boone made it a point to tell everyone before Thursday's game on against Baltimore that they got to Baltimore at 3:30 a.m. They let them sleep in. They didn't have early reporting to the stadium, so they gave them time to recover.
They've earned it.
So that's how they did that.
To the YouTube questions, and we're going to do both of these as rapid fire questions. We're going to get a quick answer from Stacy on here. Guardian Effie says, with how many people got in trouble for betting recently, do you think Boone might be betting on baseball? If he was betting on baseball, it would make perfect sense why he actively throws so many games like he did in the 2024 World Series Game 1.
No, as much as we'd like to think that he is, no.
It would explain things a lot better. I'll give him that.
Right.
And then Kevin Sweeney, K5C, asks, in 2026, what do you think of moving Judge to first base and having an outfield of Jones, Bellinger, and Dominguez?
No. We're not moving Judge to first base. Judge will not play first base.
That's not how it works.
No.
You can't just move guys to first base.
No. All right, our final question of this. Sorry, our final question of this segment is from the Super Mario. Hi, Stacy and Brian. A lot of times we as fans lament free agents we didn't sign because of how they could have fit in with the pinstripe / Yankee Stadium. I know the answer to this for Brian. Do you have an all-time number one? He would have been a great Yankee player.
There's a lot. It's definitely Bryce Harper, 1000%. But there's a lot of what ifs that I think of too. Like one of them's Corey Seager. Always. This is more of a trade, but Christian Yelich would have fit perfectly, and he got traded to the Brewers for a bucket of baseballs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of what ifs.
I have two from a while ago. Vlad Guerrero, instead of Sheffield. I mean, I love Sheffield, but
is your other one? Can I guess your other one?
Sure.
Barry Bonds.
No, I was thinking Carlos Beltran earlier in his career.
Okay. No, I hear that. I just know because they heavily pursued Bonds.
I don't know. I felt like Bonds would have messed up the team's. I don't know. I don't feel like he would have been a good Yankee. No offense to Barry Bonds, but I don't know.
Throwing him in the middle of that lineup would have been pretty sick, though.
I mean, sure, of course, but I don't know. I envisioned like, I don't know. Like, especially back then, he was, I'm not going to say the word, but he was, no.
Interesting.
Starts with a D, ends with an E, if that, I don't want to say it. I don't want to get in trouble, but.
Close your ears, Malachi.
Yes, cover your ears, Malachi. Coming up, we have more Fan Mail Friday questions from our YouTube viewers, and we will talk about the pitching matchups for the rest of the weekend in Baltimore next.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. I've been playing PrizePicks a lot lately. It's the funnest way to stay locked in for the season. It's quick, easy, and honestly, my favorite way to follow along with football. I love checking projections like Josh Allen for more or less than 270 passing yards. What about Saquon Barkley, more or less than 1 rushing touchdown? This week's max discounts includes Pat Mahomes over a half passing yard. So I'd get in on that for sure. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code one word LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code one word LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And today's episode is also brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5-Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus vitamin B nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot, and you can take it anywhere and get that boost when you need it. I always reach for my favorite flavor every single time I reach for that watermelon flavor. It is the absolute best 5-Hour Energy flavor they offer because it's refreshing and it gives me that quick lift before a busy day. But I've also been eyeing some other flavors in my fridge. Berry, cherry, grape. They're all tremendous. And honestly, I love how fast it kicks in and that it's sugar-free, so I don't have to worry about crashing later on. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5-Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in store and online at www.5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. Not only do we cover your team every single day, but now we're giving you instant episodes after every single game. You can check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman, and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It also streams on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast. Stacey, we got a double entendre here to close out the last segment of the week. These questions will be combined, so be prepared. First one comes from Colin Martin, 7783. He says, "Hi, Stacey and Brian. It seems to be clear that the Yankees will have to choose either Bellinger or Grisham. Can one of you make the case on why they should choose Belly over Grish and the other make the opposite case? Thank you and happy Friday." Scotty L99 says, "Do you think the Yankees should go all in for Bellinger and Grisham next season?"
I don't think I can make an opposite case. I would want Bellinger.
Yes, I agree with you. Bellinger is the player.
Yeah.
He is an all-around better player than Trent Grisham, and that's not an offense to Trent Grisham Jr.,
No.
but Bellinger is an all-around better player. We're talking about a former MVP.
Did you
here.
call
Don't
him
forget
Trent Grisham Jr.?
Why is his name sounding like another junior to me?
Like Chisholm Jr.?
Jazz Chisholm Jr. That's where I got it from. Absolutely.
Speaking of that, best wishes to Jazz because he got hit in a place that I would never want to get hit in with a ball.
Yeah.
So I
Don't
hope you're
get hit
okay. Yeah, because I saw someone say there might not be a Jazz Chisholm the third because of where he got hit.
He got hit with the ball in the blank.
Yes. Yes.
So Bellinger, Cody Bellinger, is a former MVP, former Rookie of the Year. He is the guy that you absolutely want to keep at all costs. But again, like we said earlier, Stacey, I don't think you have to go all in for both of these guys.
Right.
I don't know what the market looks like for Trent Grisham. I don't know if it's. Do you think the market out there is a 7-year deal of $200+ million?
No, I don't think so.
I think Bellinger's is a 5-year deal. I think that the market's open for a 5 or 6 year deal, and I think he's going to get north of $30 million a year. I think he's been that good, and I'm okay with giving him that. But realistically, and again, from everything I've heard, Grisham's a very simple dude who's a family type guy and doesn't like getting thrown around a lot. So I think there's potential that he goes to the Yankees and says, "Listen, I love it here. I like playing center field for the Yankees. I like the area I'm in. Give me blank and I'll stay and be happy." When it's I think there's a chance of that happening. So if that can happen, I would like both, honestly, because I think the way that this team is currently structured is really good. But if there's one over the other, it's definitely Bellinger, in my opinion.
Right. All right. Our next question is from King Dre 2892. This is more for Brian because he agrees with you here. Hello, guys. With the postseason right around the corner and knowing how loud Yankee Stadium gets, what is the loudest moment in the new Yankee Stadium? Mine was Gary's double against the Astros in 2017. Even the Astros said it was intimidating.
There's a couple. That's definitely one of them. I was in the crowd for that one. That one was crazy. There's that's definitely one of them. Another one of them was the Greg Bird home run in Game 3 against Cleveland.
Oh my God, yeah.
Really loud for that one.
I
Right
think
down
I heard
the
that
line.
from my house in Rockland. It was so loud.
Right down the line off Andrew Miller. That was a massive one. The Judge home run off of the Athletics in the wild card game in 2018 was a massive one. The loudest, though, that I've ever heard it, and I've been to, I want to say over 90% of the postseason games that have been played in Yankee Stadium I've been to. The loudest I've ever heard it was the 2017 wild card game in the bottom of the first when Didi hit the 3-run homer to tie it.
Oh, yeah.
After that brutal first inning where they were down 3-0.
Severino.
And they went Girardi to his credit went to the bullpen in the first inning, was not playing around. You couldn't.
You couldn't.
But that first inning, Gardner walks to lead it off, and then Didi with the 3-run homer on the first pitch he saw it on the line. I felt the upper level shake. That's how loud it got in that building. So that's the one I'll give you the loudest I've ever felt it.
I haven't really been to a lot of playoff games in the new stadium. I was there in 2009 when they beat the Angels in extra innings in Game 2 of the ALCS, and that was pretty loud.
Was that Teixeira?
No, that was the I think Melky hit the ball and Ibar overthrew it to second. Jerry Harrison Jr. scored.
I thought you were at the Teixeira game for some reason. Was that against Minnesota?
That was the Minnesota one. Yeah. I wasn't at that one. No, I was at Game 1 against Minnesota, Game 2, and Game 6 against the Angels.
What was the loudest you heard the old one?
Oh, 2001. Tino to tie, Jeter to walk off against the Diamondbacks. I mean, the upper deck was literally going like this. Like I had to calm a woman down behind me because she was freaking out. And I said, look, if it wasn't moving, it'd be worse.
Stacey, let's close it out here with Papa Rick. He says a little behind the scenes, but I was curious. If the Yankees make the postseason, will you go live after every game like last year? Will you be joined by Jay Berman since he goes live during the regular season? How would all that work out this year? Stacey's got the answer for you.
Yeah, so I talked about this on yesterday's show, but Jay's going to do the postcast, so you'll get, like the play-by-play, like what happened during the games. So he'll be live immediately after the games, and then Brian and I will come on after Jay is done.
Yeah, and make sure you stay tuned to our TikTok and YouTubes because we're going to be having a lot of shorts throughout the postseason just to stay you guys in touch and stuff. I try to get to a lot of playoff games, so I think I'm going to be at Game 1 of the wild card series, so I'll be in the building for that. If it is a wild card series, of course. But yeah, we're gonna work all that out. We will definitely be going live. You think I'm gonna
stay up that late to live stream with you while you're at the stadium?
Probably. Yeah, I think you will actually. I don't think you can help yourself after big. You need to get it out.
Can you do it from a car?
In the parking lot? I don't know if that's a good idea. But no, I think you need to after big games like that, you kind of need to get that out. You can't just go to bed after a big game like that.
Because Jay will give you the numbers. We'll give you our opinions about what happened.
Which is juicy. And plus, you're going to want to see our beautiful faces afterwards.
Right. I mean, you saw how we reacted last year.
Oh, it was a whirlwind of emotions.
Especially after Game 1 of the of the World Series. The difference in emotions from Game 5 against Cleveland to Game 1 against Los Angeles were
night and day.
I really don't want to go through that again. So can these guys just do me a favor and just play well the whole time, and I don't have to I don't really want to have to come on here after a playoff game and yell about Aaron Boone making a dumb decision. Can we have that happen this year?
You might have to. I actually would say that you're favored to have to. There's a good chance you're going to have to.
All right. And then another quick note to Casey Cotreau. We would not have enough time to name an entire 26-man roster made up of guys from other teams that you would want as an ultimate Yankee team, but we may save that for the offseason. So I just wanted to let you know. I saw your question. And also Kevin Banos, we didn't have enough time. But I think there's still a slight chance. That scene in Dumb and Dumber where he's like, you're saying there's a chance? There is a slight chance the Yankees could win the division. You never know if they win it straight out and Toronto somehow runs into problems in the next 9 games. You never know. All right, quickly, let's go through this because we're running late. The rest of the weekend. Friday night, 7:05 start. Will Warren against Trevor Rogers. Will Warren is 8-7 with a 4.44 ERA. Trevor Rogers is 8-2 with a 1.43 ERA. So we'll see how the Yankees do there. How much do you want to bet they'll actually hit this guy? And then on Saturday night, they'll have trouble with Tomoyuki Sagano, who is 10-8 with a 4.39.
1,000% chance. So let's see how Rodón does. I'm still on the track of the 2,200 strikeout mark, which I want him to hit.
Oh, right. He's almost there.
16-9, 3.11 ERA. That's a 7:05 game on Saturday. And then Sunday, 1:05, Cam Schlittler, 3-3, 3.41 against Kyle Bradish, who's 1-1 with a 2.45. Sunday's the 1 o'clock game. All these games are on, yes. None of them nationally televised. And they're off Monday.
By the way, thanks to the Yanks, or especially let's thank you, Giancarlo Stanton, for hitting that double when you did. Because if I had to hear John Smoltz talking about Cal Raleigh winning the MVP, I was going to put my head through a wall. So thank you.
I thought you were going to lose your mind when John Smoltz was talking about Game 5 of the World Series in the first inning.
I will pull back the curtain. I actually fell asleep. I wasn't feeling well today, and I woke up in the third inning, so I missed that whole discussion.
We'll just say Smoltz put you to sleep.
Yeah, but if I heard that, I would have done an extra rant for 10 minutes on YouTube about that, because that's just the way I am. Thank you guys for all your Fan Mail Friday questions. You did a really great job. And thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you watch the Sunday night edition, you will see Brian as the host of MLB Game Night
every Sunday.
So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McCann. We will catch you guys next week.